another lawnfawn video. Today we are introducing our new stamp set, thanks a Latte and its coordinating dies, so let's go ahead and check it out. First, we have two different styles of coffee cups. We have a candy cane, some whipped cream, a marshmallow. We also have a heart, a fall leaf, and a snowflake. We have the little steam for the coffee cups and some smiley faces that you can add to the coffee cups in different styles. I love the one with the mustache. And we also have a tiny smiley face for that little marshmallow. And we have some rosy cheeks that you can add to the faces. We have some great sentiments in this set. So we have Happy Holidays, or you can do Happy Fall. We also have Thanks and Love Ya, a latte, so you can do it with either one of those. We have Warm Wishes, and You're the Marshmallows to My Cocoa, or You're the Cream to My Coffee. We have a little scarf that you can put around the mugs, and then these great little images that help you fill the mugs. So I like to stamp them first and then stamp the cup over it, just like that, to create the rim of the cup. We also have one with marshmallows in it for the hot cocoa, and you can stamp these in either of the cups. And then we have this great kind of coffee shop latte, right, with a cute little heart design in it, which I absolutely adore. You can also stamp them directly into the cups like I'm doing here. It's kind of a personal preference thing, so you try and see which way you like better. Now that I have the insides of the mugs all stamped in with my little marshmallows there and then my coffee on the right, I'm going to use my Copic markers to color in these images. And what I love about these images so much is that they're great for the holidays and Christmas and winter and for fall, of course, too. But they're great for year-round because I know people love coffee all of the time. I love giving Starbucks gift cards as gifts, and this is one of my favorite ways to do it because I can stamp these cute mugs and have the whole thing kind of coordinate. I love using my Copic markers to color these, but I think it would be really fun to stamp them on pattern paper and you make the pattern paper kind of color the mugs in. I think that would just be adorable. Now here I'm coloring in my hot cocoa and I'm putting some shading around those marshmallows, and I think it looks really, really cool that way. And then on this side, I'm going to be coloring in some coffee. And so I've just got the darkness towards the outside and then lighter in the middle. I wanted this to be a white coffee mug, so I'm using some warm grays to add a little bit of detail and then blending out into the white with my colorless blender. So you'll see there as I take the colorless blender, it blends out into the middle into the white, and I think it's such a cool look. I'm also taking my W1 marker and adding a little bit of gray on those marshmallows as well, just so that I'm not leaving them plain white and they have some fun little detail on them. I'm coloring in my candy cane and my little scarf there. I love this scarf because you can wrap it around the mug and it's just the cutest thing. And then I'm going to be taking a W1 marker, a really light warm gray marker, to add some detail to the little whipped cream and the marshmallow. I'm not even blending it out. I just added little lines there, and you can see what a great three-dimensional effect it created. Now these are the coordinating dies, which you can bend apart at the tabs or use your wire snips to separate them. I'll take those dies there, line them up with my stamped images, hold it in place with some low tack tape, run it through the die cut machine, and have a perfectly cut out image every time. And I just love popping them out of the die. Every single time I get a kick out of it. It's just the cutest thing. Now here you can see how fun it is to mix and match all of these die cut images. So you can add the little whipped cream to the coffee cup, add the steam above, you can add that cute little scarf to either of the mugs, and then you can decorate the mugs with those cute little icons with the heart and the snowflake and the fall leaf, which I think is really, really cute. It'd be fun to stamp other images that you might have in your stash on those mugs as well. I'm adding a little white pen detail there to these images, and I really like it in the coffee cup. I feel like it gives it this fun kind of three-dimensional, almost kind of cartoony feel, which I think is really, really cute. Now today we're recreating a card by Elena, so thank you so much to Elena for letting us recreate your card, and I love how she brought in those cute little snowmen from Ready, Set, Snow. So I went ahead and stamped and colored those using the same red markers that I had used on the scarf and the other coffee cup images. I've also taken out some really rainbow Christmas paper. I love that white paper with the little snowflakes on it, and we're die cutting that and some white cardstock with the largest stitched rectangle at 5.5 by 4.25. Next up, we're going to take out some antique linen distress ink, which is a really nice light brown, and add some fun antiquing to this paper. And so I'm just going to take some ink on my foam ink blending tool and just go around the outside edges really lightly with that ink. And now it's got this really cool vintage feel. I forgot that I had wanted to trim off about 3/4 of an inch off of the bottom, so I trimmed that off and then went back and added a little bit more ink to just kind of finish the whole thing off. And I really love that kind of vintage, warm, just cozy feel to it. Next up, we're going to layer that scarf onto the hot cocoa mug and also layer some of that whipped cream onto the coffee there. And then we'll add some foam tape to the back of those and attach them on to that fun little vintagey piece that we created earlier. Then next up, we'll start attaching the rest of our images. So we've got another little snowman there with some foam tape and also the fun little candy cane. Next up, we're going to add in the steam, and I went ahead and colored over that steam with a warm gray marker just so that it would kind of coordinate with the cool vintage distressed edges of the pattern paper. We'll add another little candy cane in there and another cute snowman, and he's going to be holding that heart from the Things a Latte set. And then we're going to add in some adorable little smiling marshmallows all around, and those are just such a great finishing touch. Now that on that white rectangle that we cut earlier, we're going to stamp the "You're my marshmallows to my cocoa," which is such a cute sentiment. We'll stamp that along the bottom, and then what we can do is layer that piece over top, and because we trimmed it off, the sentiment is going to kind of be peeking out from below that scene, and I just really, really like that look. Creating a standard size card base at 5.5 by 4.25, and then we can take that whole panel that we created earlier and layer that on top of the card. And then this card is all done, and oh my goodness, I love this so much. It's so adorable. This set just makes me smile. So next up, we're going to be creating another card with this set, and we're going to be doing some fun splattering. So here we've got some fun pearlized watercolors, but any kind of watercolory paint or even just some ink pad kind of smeared on your block and just add some water to it. And what we're going to do is add a bunch of water to each of these and make them kind of soupy like that. Pick up some of that paint on the paintbrush, and then you're going to tap your paintbrush over your card base. And this is some of that new wood grain cardstock in the white color. And we're just going to tap that paintbrush and create splatters all over it. And this is such a pretty look. It's a really cool way to kind of create your own custom background. And with the blue and then that pearlized color, it's got this fun little shine to it. And I just love doing this. There's something really relaxing about just creating all of these fun splatters. For the sentiment, we're going to take out the Scripty Cheers die, and we're going to cut that out of some Guava Cardstock. We're going to cut it out a bunch of times and also out of some of the new Sparkle Cardstock in the silver. So we'll add some glue to each of these, and we're going to layer them on top of each other. And it's going to create this great dimensional sentiment, which also has all the pink on the bottom and then that fun sparkle on top. So I think it's a really, really cool look. I love the idea of using the cheers sentiment with this set because we're going to have the two mugs kind of cheersing together above it. I just think it's so adorable. To finish up our cheers sentiment, we're going to stamp out something from the Holiday Helpers, and it says "to you and yours." So we're going to stamp that out on that same Guava cardstock there with some nice clear sticky ink for embossing. We're going to add some white heat embossing powder and then use our heat tool to heat that up so we have this nice shiny white sentiment on that beautiful pink cardstock. And then we'll just trim it down right around the sentiment. And I love the look of the stamped with the die cut sentiment kind of mixing and matching. It's so cool. So there we went ahead and stamped out some mugs, adding the snowflake to one and the heart to the other. And I think they look so cute with those little icons on there. They're just adorable. So we're going to lay down one flat with some liquid glue and the other with some foam tape just to kind of give it some fun dimension. Then we can add a little liquid glue to the back of that stacked cheers sentiment that we worked on earlier and layer that. And I love how part of the sentiment is kind of layering over the mug. And then with a little foam tape, we can add the "to you and yours" underneath. To finish it up, we'll add a cute little candy cane, and then we can add our little whipped cream too. But to add some texture to that whipped cream, we're going to use the textured white embossing powder with the new embossing ink pen. So there's the embossing ink pen, and we're just going to draw along the bottom there and kind of along the edges of that whipped cream, dip it into that embossing powder, and then we can heat it up, and it's got this great kind of thick texture to it that's really going to make it look like there's whipped cream on these cute little coffees or hot chocolates. And so we'll repeat the same thing with the other one. So we'll add this one whipped cream there onto the top, and then we can go ahead and add our embossing pen detail to the bottom of this other whipped cream, dip it into that textured white embossing powder, and heat it up again so that you get that awesome cool texture on it. Look at that. How cool is that? I just love that it really looks like real whipped cream. And then we'll take our narwhal ink pad and stamp out that steam above the coffee cups for this wonderful finishing touch. And this card is just making me smile. I love those splatters. It's such a cool background on that wood grain texture. And then having the texture of the embossing powder on the whipped cream. Oh my goodness, it's just so adorable. And I just think this card would make anybody smile. So now we've made two holiday themed cards with this, so we thought it would be fun to make a fall card. So we're going to take out some of the nitpicky fall paper there. We're going to take out some of the 12 by 12 and the 6 by 6 to kind of mix and match the different scales of the paper. And then here we have a cross-stitch rectangle, and we've die cut some of that nitpicky paper. We've also die cut with a stitched rectangle some vellum as well. And then we've got some scallop circles and some stitch circles with some chocolate bar cardstock and then more of that nitpicky paper in the smaller prints from the 6 by 6 pad. We've also got a Scripty thanks there cut out of some fake tan cardstock and a sentiment banner cut out of vanilla mullein. So we're going to be working with all of these pieces. So we're going to add some adhesive to that rectangle and then attach it to a standard size card base at 5.5 by 4.25. Here we've got our cute little scalloped rectangle and that wonderful pattern paper. We'll layer that on and then create a little ground with a simple stitched hillside border on that gorgeous argyle. And then we can layer that on top so that we have a little ground for our coffee cup to be on. For this coffee cup, we stamped that beautiful little kind of latte heart style coffee in there with some brown ink, and I just love it. I think it's so cute. And then we'll take some of those fall leaves and actually decorate around the cup, which I think is a really sweet look. I think for spring, some little flowers on there would be really cool. And then we'll add some of that steam coming out of the coffee. Here we have that Scripty thanks, and we're going to layer that right onto that sentiment banner, kind of just overlapping the top edge of it. And then we can stamp underneath the a latte. And I love the mix of the stamping with the word die cut from cardstock. We're going to layer that cute little scallop circle there onto the vellum, and then we can go ahead and layer the sentiment panel piece on top of that as well. We want to make sure we hide our adhesive on the vellum. We don't want it showing through on that beautiful pattern paper there on the left. So what we're going to do is just add adhesive on the back of the die cut pieces. That way that adhesive is going to stay hidden. So you'll see we'll just add that right along that circle and then right along that banner, and then we can attach the vellum piece on. And I love the look of the pattern paper kind of peeking through the vellum. It really softens it and adds this beautiful kind of cozy feel to the card. Now this set is perfect for creating cards for giving coffee gift cards like ones to Starbucks that we have here. So we're going to die cut some of that same pattern paper with a stitched rectangle and also one of the simple gift card slots. So we're going to line those two up and hold them in place with some low tack tape, and then we can run it through our die cut machine. And what I love about this idea is that you could do this to any card you even have made. So if you had a thanks card already made, you could add your gift card to the inside. Just find a matching pattern paper, die cut a little square, and use that little gift card slot, and you can add your gift card just like that. Since we use this square die cut, we've got a little space on the bottom there, and that's perfect for continuing the sentiment onto the inside of the card. So we're going to stamp the "You're the cream to my coffee" under that, which is so cute. And then we can just add some adhesive to the back of this whole panel and add it into the card. So I love that you could add it or not, which is just adorable. So we're going to add that right in there, and now our card is ready to go, and it's a super sweet gift as well. So thanks a latte, and then we've got the "You're the cream to my coffee" with that cute little gift card inside. And then here we have a look at the 3 cards that we made today. I love all the different looks. You can add smiley faces, you could add the scarves, you could add the icons, you can leave the mugs blank. You can do them for fall, for holiday, for Christmas, and for all year round too, and I just love that. Now we have some amazing projects by the design team, and I love this layout that Melissa created. How cute is it to match her little picture of her Starbucks cups? I just love it so much. Then up here we have the card by Elena that inspired us to make our card today. I just love this one so much, and she added the warm winter wishes sentiment on hers, which is just so sweet. Here, Elise created these really cute coffee cups by layering the snowflakes and the stars all around them. I just love the look of all the different coffee cups in the different colors. And then this card by Kate is so sweet. I love the smiley face with the scarf on the mug. This card by Letitia is adorable. I love her color scheme and how she stamped the hearts on the mugs. They're just so sweet, and that big red bow is awesome. I love this card by Yanea and how she created that cute little tablecloth to go under the coffee cups. It's so sweet. And then Nicole was so clever to stack all of her mugs. I love this look so much. It's so adorable. I love how Lizzie created her own custom pattern paper with these images, and how she layered her sentiment on top is so cool. And then Megan got super creative and created her own pattern paper as well, and I love how she layered the vellum and that the coffee mug is hanging out on the log. It's so sweet. This card by Audrey is just beautiful. I love her colors, and I love that this card is totally a year-round card. It's so adorable. And then Shari created a super cute reveal wheel card with these images. I just love them with the little speech bubble. So I cannot wait to see what you guys do with Thanks a Latte, so make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching today and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!